Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making a video on a build in Fallout that I have came up with. It's nothing crazy I would say, so don't get your expectations too high. This is the Unkillable human build that I made. So I will say a lot of this build is interchangeable. You can change it out for something else that you would want. A lot of this is my daily driver build, and if I want to do more damage, I just swap to a different power armor instead of swapping to a different build. Which, just want to make sure, sorry, just want to, okay, yeah, perfect, okay, perfect, here we go. Stone build. So, 11 strength, 8 perception, 5 endurance, 4 charisma, 10 intelligence, 13 agility, 5 luck. For the legendary cards, we have maxed out in all of them perception, intellect, luck, endurance, strength, and what rads. This is just my personal preference. You could change this out for something else, like taking one for the team or funky duds, whatever, or maybe put on another special card. As I was saying, most of this build is personal preference. There's only really a few cards that, well, there's one that's required and a few others that are just recommended to have on. Everything else is just, you can choose. So I'm not even going to go over anything in the first slot. Actually, well, I'll just explain it quickly. Traveling Pharmacy, bringing the big guns, easy target, Bulletstorm, Lock and Load, Bandolier, none of them required. Under Perception, we have Number Cruncher, Downranger, Tormentor, Tank Killer, Concentrated Fire, same thing, none of them required. Under Endurance, we have Ironclad, which is not required, but is highly recommended to get more, armor protection, since you're going to be wearing the same armor set. Through Hikers, Cola Nuts, Starch Jeans, and Rejuvenated. Out of all these, none of these are required except the Rejuvenated perk. That is an absolute necessity you are going to need. Another card you can put under here, which I don't have on right now. I am like constantly swapping out cards, so this build next week could be completely different. But you could always put on Life Giver, so you can get the extra health as well. Under Charisma, we have Strange in Numbers, Travel Agent, and Tenderizer. Same thing, not required. Under 15, or sorry, Intelligence, we have First Aid, Power User, Science, Batteries included. Power Patcher, Gunsmith, Good Basalt, same thing, none of them are required. 13, we have Gunslinger, Gunslinger Expert, Guerrera Master, Expert, Guerrera Master, and Gunfu. The one that, none of these are required as well, but the one you can swap out if you do want to have a more undying build would be Born Survivor. I kind of swap that on and off, depending on if I want more damage or not. Under the Luck, we have Better Criticals, Ricochet, Class Freak, and Critical Savvy. None of these are recommended, or none of these are required, but I do recommend putting on Ricochet just so you're not getting hit for all the damage and some of the attacks are being deflected. Now, in terms of the armor, here is the armor. So it is Overeaters on the first one. Same thing, this also could be possibly changed out if you wanted something else. But we have Overeaters, then we have Elementalist. Sorry, there we go. Overeaters, then we have Elementalist. Then after that we have Sentinels and Rejuvenators. So I like this because with the Overeaters I can have the extra health. Sometimes I am tempted to swap it to Mutants and see how that works for the damage reduction, so you guys might want to give that a shot and see if that's better. You could also, if you have a high cap amount constantly, you could run Aristocrats for the damage reflection. Elementalist I find to be best because of the all-around resistances. I like to, with this build, run Snakes. They're not Snakes, sorry, Raids. And a lot of times when running Raids, you know, there's a lot of poison damage, so I do run Funky Duds when I'm doing the Raids, but as well as the extra damage resistance all across the board, or resists help. Sentinels I like personally because I just like to, I'm not like a running gunner kind of thing, kind of like just stand still and be like a turret sometimes with heavy guns. So Sentinels works for me. You could use something else though. Could use active, you could use healthy, for some extra health as well. If you're on that same, like, resist, though, I don't remember what the mod is, but the... Oh, I'm drawing a blank. But whatever, I think it's Cavaliers, which when moving gives you damage reduction, the opposite. Now, out of all these mods, the only one that is completely required and you need to have is Rejuvenators. All the other ones are just, you can choose what you want to have on. Rejuvenators, as you can see, gain health and action points regeneration as you fill your hunger and thirst meter. So another two things I want to mention. This is only a human build, because it goes off your food and your hunger bar. Second thing is it's only in a power armor because Rejuvenators can only go on power armor. Now, what makes this build so great is with the Rejuvenators 4-star equipped, and if you have your hunger full, if you don't have the Rejuvenated card on that I was talking about, this one right over here, if you don't have that, you will gain 15 health and 15 AP per second. Now, with you having this Rejuvenated perk on, that gets bumped up to 30 health and 30 AP per second. So when I am running, I can just give you guys a little example. When I am running, I have complete near infinite AP. Now, of course, what does suck is I like using VATS. It doesn't, of course, cross over into VATS. The infinite AP regen is only when outside of VATS. But as you see here, see that bar? It just goes right back up. And I'm not even full I'm not even full hunger. There we go. But just keep running. Not saying infinite running is something anyone's really, I feel like, crazy looking for, but I feel like it is a nice convenience. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you before I end the video. There's three other things I want to show. So the next thing I'm just going to show is just a little added extra is if you do run this build, like I said, this specific armor for the weapons that at least I use, which is more energy weapons and heavy weapons, this is not going to do the most amount of damage. So what I do is I made a second, by the way, just to mention, this is on a T65, both of these armors. I made a second armor, and this is what I call my high damage armor. So on this one, it has Overeaters, Intelligence, Active, and Rangers. So this one does more damage, of course, but I have to be more careful of my health. So that's the other armor that I have. Now the last two things that I'm going to show you is I'm going to go into EN06, just let him kind of slap me around a bit. And you can see how the damage does there, as well as we're going to show a clip of me going over to the snake, the 5th stage as well, and we can show that part as well. So let's just cut over to that then. All right, here we are back at EN06. So
Alert.
I'm just going to stand here.
Just
going to take some popcorn, bubble gum, let it not go down so quickly. I drink really down from the water. We're just going to stand here and let them tank me. I'm not even going to do any stim pack. Now, like I said, you can swap some of these out for, if you have Born Survivor, will keep you surviving longer, as well as Medic Pump, but I run the jetpack. I'm not going to do anything whatsoever. I'm just going to let him purely hit me like crazy. Nope, and there go flying. So, that was how that went with the EN06. Now we're just going to go over to the snake, and you can show you how that is. Alright, and here we are at the snake. So now I'm just going to do the same thing what I did with the EN06. Just stand here and absorb all the damage and see how the healing does. as you guys are seeing, considering since he's not doing constant damage like the EN06, I'm under the assumption that this would be quite literally unkillable in Snake. Now, you'd be stuck here forever, of course, but I don't think you're going to be possibly able to die in here. As long as you're not getting pushed off. There we go. And there we go. So, as you can see, we're surviving very well. So, I am just gonna head on out of here. Well, and that's everything that goes with the build then. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'm going to try to make more build videos. Honestly, I kind of enjoyed doing this. So I'll also be posting down below a link to my new Fallout Discord server. It's been growing pretty rapidly. If you're looking for people to discuss Fallout stuff, builds, you need help out with items, doing raids, leveling up, anything like that. A lot of us are in the VCs throughout most of the day. Usually someone's in there. And we have a lot of fun in there. So if you guys are looking to join that, I'll be posting the link down below, as well as I'll also be posting a link to the builds that are in this video, so you guys can check it out from the website as well. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.